everybody, what's up? Excited about this video. You guys are giving me the best video ideas, I gotta say. And most recently somebody asked for the best matte blushes from the drugstore, or best matte blushes for fall, and I kind of let that idea simmer in my head for a while, and I thought, well, why not give a bunch of suggestions of just the best matte drugstore makeup? Because some matte things are easy to find in the drugstore. Like, there are tons of great matte lip colors right now, and I'm going to share some of those with you. Purely matte blushes can be a little harder to come by, and the matte eyeshadows I think are really hard to come by in the drugstore. So I've been up since like 5 this morning digging through my collection, pulling out things that I liked and then kind of narrowing it down to the best. And by the way, maybe I should point out, if you're totally new to makeup and you stumbled across this video, by matte I'm talking about products that don't contain any shimmer, products that don't have a shiny finish in any way. So first off, for face products, and I'm talking about color products here, I might do a whole other video devoted to like matte foundations and stuff. A matte bronzer that I really love is from NYC, and it's the Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder, and this is, you know, a mix of different tones, but you swirl your brush in it and it makes a great contouring shade. I also love Sunny bronzer from NYC. This is going to be a little bit darker than that. I have that on today. I also have a full review on this, but I really like this product. Now, a little combo product that I think is really great is from e.l.f. They've recently come out with their contouring blush and bronzer in a matte version. It's called Fiji. This is a great blush, really pigmented rosy blush. And then the bronzer, you know, not super dark. I think if you are in the lighter skin tone family, you'll enjoy this, but I love that they are true matte, purely matte, no shimmer in there whatsoever. While we're on e.l.f., e.l.f. has some amazing pressed mineral products. I like their eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers. Not everything in that line is purely matte, but there is a blush that I have that is, it's called Jet Setter, and this is a beautiful, like, kind of soft pink, bordering on mauve type blush, and when you get this and feel the texture, you're gonna be like, whoa, that's e.l.f. Like, it feels super high quality and creamy, so I love that for kind of a muted pink look on the cheeks. For a little bit brighter pop of color on the cheeks, but still very fresh. This is very wearable. Don't be scared by how bright this appears, but this is the e.l.f. Studio Blush in Pink Passion, right? Yep. This is matte. It looks super bright, but I swear this is a gorgeous, fresh pink on the cheeks. Since this sells for only $3, if you've never tried a pink like this before, this might be a good way to test it out because you're not out much money if you don't like it. I really think you will like it. And you know what's great about all these matte blushes I'm mentioning? They're really pigmented and full color. And you can put them on and not worry about a bunch of shimmery particles like attracting more attention to your pores and stuff. They just look really nice on. Another absolutely amazing line of blushes, and it's not like you can run into your drugstore and grab one of these, but they are available online for drugstore prices. This is the Coastal Scents Forever blush, and this is a shade called Beautiful. And by the way, if you're trying to navigate their website and look at all of these blush shades, because they have tons, when you click them, they will actually specify whether it's shimmer or matte or whatever. But this shade called Beautiful is what I'm wearing today. It makes me think a little bit of a soft berry type blush. These blushes from Coastal Scents, though, are so pigmented. Sometimes it's not enough for me to just like tap off the excess on the side of the product, but I actually like give it a tap on my hand first before putting it on my cheeks. And then I also want to mention this one from Jordana. This is a shade called Peach Blossom. This would kind of be the every woman blush shade. Just that very soft peachy pink. I remember when I was first getting started with makeup, my mom saying that peachy colored blushes like this look good on everyone, and I would tend to agree with that. Now for matte eye products, first off, a couple cream things that I think are absolute must-haves, and they are jumbo shadow sticks that are really long wearing, and they can act as an amazing base for your eye looks. So I have a couple here from Jordana. They're called 12 Hour Made to Last, and by the way, if you don't really have access to Jordana stuff, but you do have Milani, look to Milani for these as well. They also have a nude one. It's called Almond Cream, but it's going to be a little more expensive than Jordana's. I have Continuous Almond and Eternal White. If you wear these on their own, they're fine. They don't need to be set with anything. But also, if you want to get more intensity out of different powder shadows, use these as your bases. These are also great in your lower inner rim. That's that's where I'm wearing this Continuous Almond shade right now. I kind of like this because it's not quite as stark as the white shade is, but it's still very brightening. And I use this as the base for my eye look today as well. A really great matte single shadow that's kind of a multitasker type thing is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Single in Brulee. This can be a great under eye setting powder. It's very pigmented, just like the various Wet n Wild palettes that are out there, but totally matte, just a great basic like off-white shade to have. Also, in case you didn't know, Jane is back, and they're back with quite a nice line of single eyeshadows, including some mattes, and these are a couple of my favorites that I have. I have this shade called Clay. Clay is like a nice, really soft brownish color. This can be a nice, really light shade for the crease, and then I also have Iris, and this is a dark as heck matte plum shade, but it kind of shears out a little bit if you want it to, and it can show a little more of the purple, or if you wear it very like packed on, it can look nearly black, but that's a really great plum. A couple of great matte quads that I know I've mentioned before, but it's definitely worth repeating, are from Physicians Formula. You might not find these everywhere Physicians Formula is sold, but I generally find them on Ulta's website or in Ulta stores. And the packaging is super boring, but the products inside are great. And I have Canyon Classics and also Quartz Quartet. And I'm wearing Quartz Quartet today. I've got the cream on my lid, some of this gray in the crease, and then there's an awesome like kind of rosy, very dusty rose matte shade here. I'm wearing that just above the crease. These are so rich and smooth, easy to apply and blend. If you just want like a small selection of matte shades to add to your collection, this is a great one. Canyon Classics has a little bit more of a beige tone, and I think there is a third option available in these quads too. And I'm gonna stay on the neutral train for a minute and talk about a couple of larger palettes. First off, Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral Matte. This is an excellent option for a wide range of matte shades. It is going to be a little more pricey than some other drugstore things that are out there. Really a worthwhile thing to have in your collection because you can kind of supplement with this palette. You might have a lot of shimmery singles or duos, but you just need that matte brown or that matte black, and you have it in here. Also, I love that these shades work great on the brows. I know I mentioned that in the Sonia Kashuk brand guide video that I did, but this is really nice. And also Hard Candy, which this brand seems to be the mother of all things like sparkly and bold and glittery, but they actually have a really cool matte palette. It's the Top 10 Trendsetters eyeshadow collection, and this shade is called Birthday Suit. Some really nice matte textures in here. I think this is awesome quality. In terms of shade selection, I lean a little bit more toward the Sonia Kashuk. It's got a better range of browns and shades that also double as nice brow colors, like I said. Also, there's the purely matte black in the Sonia palette, which I enjoy, but here still you're getting a nice range. So it might be something to look into if you haven't checked out the Hard Candy line lately. Okay, colorful matte eyeshadows. This is where it gets really tricky because I don't think the drugstore brands do a very good job of bringing out purely matte colorful shades. As I've been digging through my collection, I've come across a lot of things that are close, that are like a satin finish with just that little bit of shimmer, but I'm looking for purely matte. So a couple things I want to point out are these quads from Revlon. These are not 100% matte in terms of all the shades being matte. For example, in this one, this shade up here has some shimmer, but the bright shades are matte, and they're nicely pigmented and just really impressive, I think, the way they go on. So this one is called Exotic, and this one is Wild, and this teal and the orange are matte, colorful shades as well. Also gonna throw out a mention to the Wet n Wild I Love Matte palette. I know this is like a limited edition thing. I think it's come out of the woodwork like a couple times. Something to keep an eye out for in case they would ever bring it out again. It's like half neutral with some really good basics in there, and then a few fun colors as well. Totally matte. You know I love the texture of these Color Icon eyeshadows from Wet n Wild. I just wish more of what they had was truly matte. They've got a lot of trios where certain shades come close, but they're not absolute mattes. And really, if you're looking for good prices on a lot of matte eyeshadows, you're maybe best off looking at one of the big palettes from Coastal Scents that gives you tons of those bright shades at a really good price because they're all in one palette. Also, the Coastal Scents Hot Pots. I know I have promised a video on my favorite Hot Pots. It's been a little bit on the back burner, and honestly, it probably will continue to be for a little while as I'm working through a lot of these holiday palette reviews, but that is something I can expand on at some point because Coastal Scents has a massive shadow range, and you could get some matte bright colors in just singles if you wanted to. Finally, matte drugstore lip colors. This is kind of the part of the video I'm most excited about because I think there is so much to choose from. There are so many great lines. There are a couple of lines where I've tried so much from them, I could honestly say try anything because all the shades are so freaking good. One of those lines are the Rimmel Kate Moss matte lipsticks. These are amazing. I mean, collect them all. They're great. And I also have a video that I did not that long ago on my favorite comfortable matte lip colors. Check out that video for a few more brands that are mentioned and more shades tried on and whatnot, but a couple that I just wanted to shout out to right now that I'm really liking from this Kate Moss matte line are this number 107, which is part of my look today. It's an awesome berry shade. I didn't have it at the time I did my last video on matte lipsticks, but you guys said try 107, so you're such enablers, so I went and got it and I do love it. And then 105 is like a really nice soft neutral bordering on pink shade. These are so creamy, full color, not drying, really lightweight. I just love everything about these. Another line that I seriously love every shade that I've tried is the Revlon Colorburst Matte Balms. These are awesome. Today I am wearing Showy, which is this really pretty bright pink, and then I did mix in some of the 107. So that's how I'm getting this kind of bright berry shade. I just love the way these draw on the lips. You know, they're so like velvety smooth. I also love Sultry, that's a nice mauve color, and Standout is a really nice red. Big fan of the NYX matte lipsticks. Haven't tried as many of these as I have those last couple of brands that I've mentioned, but one red that I think you're really gonna like for this season is Alabama. Kind of a deeper brick red, really gorgeous. And last but not least, the newest matte lip find that I'm loving is from Maybelline. They've now got a line of Color Sensational matte lipsticks, and I'm really enjoying the textures of these as well. I need to do a full review on these for sure. But I've got this great red called Siren in Scarlet. Also this nude called Daringly Nude. Makes a nice kind of base shade for different liners you want to mix in or glosses on top if you like the glossy finish. And most recently I picked up Lust for Blush, which is actually a shade in the Color Whisper line, but I guess they've made it matte now. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for fabulous matte color cosmetics from the drugstore. Everything from your cheek products to eyes to lips. Again, in some areas I really wish there was a better selection, but drugstore makeup really does seem to be getting better and better all the time, so it probably won't be long before that changes. But thank you guys so much for watching and for requesting this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.